Hey, what's up guys? So, new day. It's the next day from the last video, but gonna continue. It's 4th of July, don't have anything to do. And yeah, I think I'm gonna work on the quarters, putting the overs on there. Like I said, I mentioned in the last video, but I mentioned in the end, but the front bumper, all I'm waiting on is a splitter, but they're not gonna reply until tomorrow because today's a holiday. So that's supposed to have like a giant splitter underneath there. So there's no point of putting that on because it's gonna look weird. So I'm going to focus on the quarter. I was going to do the side skirt first, but technically the side skirt bolts to both the fender and the rear over. So I think I want to get those in place where they need to be first. So I'm going to start off by taking off the rear bumper simply because it needs to be off for the rear quarter to sit flush because it goes all the way down. But other than that, spent like $120 yesterday at Walmart getting Bondo fiberglass. I'm not going to use things if I don't need to, because I'd rather, because that gallon is like $40. I need to save money where I can. So if I don't need it, I might as well just buy the smaller one, because with the M3 I really needed that stuff and I was buying it by the gallon. But I also bought 2 fans, one there, because it's 95 degrees right now and it's like 8 a.m. but it's going to be like 110 by noon. So and then maybe later tonight for 4th of July we'll do some fireworks of our own with this car. So let's get to it. Hey guys, so I'm just going to quickly explain how the whole cutting your quarter panel works. Before anyone says like, oh, you ruined the car or whatever, that's stupid, grow up. I try to buy higher mileage cars that already have body damage because I know I'm going to do a kit. Like this one, both quarters were like dented. This car has dings all over it, the fenders were dented, such and such. It's also pretty high mileage. It's like 173,000 miles on the chassis, which is a lot. I think that's like 120,000 km. But basically, usually I even try to go for rebuilt cars. Like even the M3, people are like, oh, it was a perfectly fine car. It's like, no, it actually had a lot of like dents and stuff like that on the quarters. That could have been repaired, but you know, I try not to get like crazy good condition cars to do this stuff too, simply because it's not worth it. Plus you can get them cheaper because this car is way undervalued simply because it had so much body damage and the bumpers were crap and cracked and all this stuff. So why not? But anyways, so what you see me is basically I usually end up cutting, like I mark a line. If you take your hand in here, you'll feel where it actually kind of rounds out, because the thing goes down a bit and the wheel well is higher up, so you want to feel where the wheel well is and you want to basically cut where it stops and it flattens out, because that's the maximum room you're going to get. Some people cut the entire quarter panel up here and I'm like, there's no point, because you're just there's literally no point, because the wheel well only goes up to here, so you're just making room for your wheels up to here. So I mark it, I cut it out, and then you want to cut the bottom edge to get that layer off to expose the second layer. Then the second layer you cut about ½ inch to 3/4 of an inch under the first layer. So then all you have to do is make slash cuts like this, bend it up over this second layer, and then I'm gonna get seam sealer later and basically fill all of this up and seal it, because you don't want, that's the inside of your quarter panel. You really don't want water and stuff and dirt getting in there. Not that it rains here anyway, but you don't want that stuff. So then you seam seal it, and then you paint it all black just for the exposed metal, or not black, but you can just paint it with anything, primer, so that the exposed metal doesn't rust or anything like that. And that's really it. It can become a little bit more difficult because some fueler caps, fill fueler caps, are like right there. This one's, I think, right there on the other side, so it's not going to mess with the quarter panel. But yeah, that's basically cutting quarter panels 101. All you're trying to do is make it so that when you have a wheel that sticks out to like here, it's not hitting the existing quarter, and you made all the room that you can to go up to this one. So a few hours later, I got both of the quarters cut up and sealed. I had to go to Home Depot to get another cutting blade. This is not the prettiest method, but it is definitely the most functional, easiest, and cheap. I would say the best method is by far to weld it and then put seam sealer across. I just kind of, as you saw, make slashes, fold it over so the two panels are combined as much as possible, and then put this construction adhesive material, which I used on the M3. I never ever got a drop of moisture or water inside of this area. Other side is done as well. But I did put on the rear bumper. I cut out the exhaust hole. I cut it way too high, but I kind of took stripping that I had laying around and put it there to make it look a little bit better. But I actually had to cut the hole underneath of the diffuser, therefore not making it a diffuser, because actually it would not be able to mount, or it would be touching the exhaust, which isn't good. So now basically this gets bolted to the bottom of the trunk. Make sure I don't pop anything, and yeah, it looks really crazy. Sorry guys, I'm not doing the exhaust out of here. I wish I could, but that's just so much fab work. I'm obviously incapable of doing that, and I don't know who is, because you'd have to run it around the bash bar through a Y pipe. I'm just gonna put mesh through there. Also, I am painting all the mesh black, as I said before. Right now I'm going to take off the rear bumper to cut a little slot here so I can actually slide in the rear license plate lights, and then I'll make some holes, I suppose, to hold the license plate. I don't know where. It's weird because they just cut out this area, but I guess I'll make holes somewhere for the license plate. But it looks crazy. I bolted in the side diffuser pieces that go there. Yeah. Okay, so now I got the over fenders on. You can see I drilled a hole to put a self-tapper through there, and then there's one there and one there. Just like I did with the M3, I'm probably going to make more holes in the first layer, punch it through into the body, and then that will be later covered up with fiberglass when I mold this in and everything like that. I just realized it's kind of better when you self-tap it to the body and then mold it on top, because it just gives it extra strength. There are people that mold stuff without even the screws. They'll use screws and then they'll take them out after, but why not, you know, have that? Because you kind of always have to flex this piece a lot to get it to sit right on the body line. But with the rear bumper, it looks absolutely insane. So I think I'm gonna go make dinner right now, but there's some wheels I was actually trying to pick up. They're Graham lights. They're Ray's 57DR, I think they're called. Here's a picture. The only thing that sucks is they're Jamaican teal, powder coated. I think I'm gonna be painting the car super dark midnight purple or midnight like blue, and have the wheels be like Nardo gray, which is like a super light gray. So I don't know, but they have 275 35 Federal RSRRs, which are like really good R compound tires, and those are actually the tires I wanted to do anyway, so it'd be pretty cool. Yeah, things coming out. As I said, I do have to take this to work tomorrow, so all I'm really gonna do for the rest of today is put on the other over and maybe take it for a drive, because I do have to fill it up with gas, and it's 4th of July, so maybe I'll do some fireworks with it. But other than that, that's really it. Like I said, front bumper waiting on splitter. Side skirts are a mess. I'm probably gonna have to cut them up like I did with the M3, but somehow do it better this time. Well guys, we did it. I got the overs on. I would show you, but from the last video I realized this camera, the GoPro, is not really good at low light, so here's some pictures. But basically I kind of fell back a lot because I was standing here and literally I looked to my right. I know you can't see anything, but that bush right there literally a dog just barked at me. I was like, what the hell? And it's like this little Shih Tzu thing, which is like those small, like small dog. Like it makes my Shiba look. It makes my Shibas look really. There, goddamn fireworks. All right, that's it. I'm gonna show them my own fireworks. Yeah, that'll show them. Well, anyways, little dog, and it was just lost. Like, I walked around the block and couldn't find it. Rachel was able to like lure it. Really nice dog, wagging its tail. So we took it on a leash. So Rachel's gone right now for like the past hour because she drove to the nearest 24/7 vet, because sometimes they have chips inside the dogs that'll tell it who its owner is. So she's hoping that we could find the owner. Otherwise, they won't take it. So, I mean, I'm not trying to have a fourth dog. I don't want a little dog. I want my Shibas. But that's my little side story. But anyways, I'm gonna wrap it up for tonight. I'm gonna go get gas because I gotta go to work tomorrow for another long ass 9-10 hour shift. Maybe take this thing to a meet tomorrow, depending when I get off. Anyways, thanks so much for watching, guys. I hope you're excited for this car. It's cool that it's the car is as fast and as loud and as aggressive as the body kit is. Cause I guess the M3 was quick, but it wasn't quick. Like this is some legit shit. Anyways, guys, thanks so much. Happy 4th of July. Happy whatever National Europe Day, whatever it is for you guys. So, see you guys on the next video.